Yeah, look at it. Deutscher Empire. And there is my home. Look at this. Look at the big rat. That means that somebody is working around here, doing a job on one of them buildings and not using union workers. And that's how New Yorkers protest. That's how the union protests. Anytime you see that big rat, you know they're using workers that are non-union workers in one of them projects right here. So, that's what it is, baby. We're not gonna stand for that. Under the FDR. Yep. Look at that snake. Snake of a highway. You can get some nice little cruises around Manhattan. We're now in Fulton Street area, Lower Manhattan. There's a baby Brooklyn Bridge towards my hometown across the river. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at these flows. Usually they do a couple of flows every week. Okay? Look at this. Huh? Look at this. And you guys goofing around, you know, jerking off on a goddamn little piece of retaining wall. You talking about emancipation. Huh? Look at this. Emancipated from what? You guys can't even build a goddamn shack. Huh? Talking about you emancipated and talking a bunch of nonsense. Can't even build a little piece of goddamn retaining wall and talking a sort of bullshit. Please. Please. You know I'm a harbor boy. Anytime I need my dose of carnage, I could be right here down by Fulton Ferry. Okay? I could be right down here down by the seaport. See, look at this. Everybody could take pride in their harbor. All around the world, everybody takes pride in their harbor. Except you goddamn guys. Huh? Huh? Except, look at this. Nice paved walkway. Huh? But you guys have the carnage like a dump. Like a freaking dump. Okay? And then you have people who grew up around the carnage who are now involved in the government and now talking shice about and trying to make excuses for negligence, for incompetence at closure. What a disgrace. What a freaking disgrace. Look at these people harbor. Huh? Everywhere around the world. As a matter of fact, I showed you guys how it looked in Bonaire. Okay? Everybody takes pride in their harbor except you freaking guys. And this is not about, you guys are gonna say, oh, this is New York, they have a lot of money, because this is not about money, okay? It's about pride first and foremost. Because I showed you guys Bonaire. I showed you guys Aruba. It was a kind of ship like this that had ran into the Brooklyn Bridge a couple months ago. A Mexican Navy ship. Yeah, it was something like this that hit the bridge. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this. Huh? Just imagine, this used to be Fulton Street fish market, right? This used to be a fish market, okay? And look how these people transformed these years, okay? Let's look at this. I used to come down here back in the days, and this used to be a fish market, smelly, all horrible. And this has been transformed. They actually moved the Fulton Ferry fish market up to the Bronx, okay? Look how beautiful this is. Again, look at this boardwalk. Everybody's taking pride in their harbor. Look at this. There's the Brooklyn Bridge peeking out on the back. See a bit of its history, Fulton Market. Look at this place now. Look at this joint. Nice little hangout. There's usually a lot of free concerts during the summer. Pretty much every couple of days. So it's something, if you're a New Yorker, then you can check it out. And if you want to get a little bit of history about the South Street Seaport, here it is. See that pic? Testified to its old fish market scenery. You can check out the South Street Seaport Museum right here. Give you a lot of information. There it is. World Trade, baby. Looking along Fulton Street. World Trade, baby. World Trade. We're actually going to Fulton Street. We're actually going to Fulton Street, a subway station that I personally worked on in 2004. I worked on a project where we were facilitating east-west crossing in Lower Manhattan. If you were on the east side, it was hard to get on the west side. So what we did is that we put a cut and covered tunnel from Fulton Street all the way across to the N and the R and the E train and to the PAT train to New Jersey. It's a really magnificent project. International English company called Arab was actually the lead consultant engineers on the project, and I was working with a company called Barbara Thayer and Associates during that time. Again, as I said, we were the structural sub-consultants in our project. It was an amazing project. It was on the 15th floor on 155 6th Ave. It was awesome. Every major engineering firm and architectural firm in New York was on that project. As a matter of fact, Moose Rutledge, the guys who designed the World Trade Center foundations, was actually on that project. Daniel Frankfurt, Lee Harris Pomeroy, Volmer did the sanitary stuff. It was tons of companies. It was really nice. Had a good time. Again, we were headquartered in Soho, so that was a lot of fun.